There is a simple way for a man to destroy himself. No matter how wise or skilled he is, he can easily make shipwreck of his life by engaging in pleasure, entertainment, alcoholism, drugs, and constant parties. History is filled with stories of great men and women whose poor decisions, actions, and lifestyles led to their ruin. In this day of little restraint, when the young experiment with everything they find fun, millions are more than likely to destroy themselves, innocently or foolishly. Some tragic real-life examples shall help clarify this statement. Whitney Houston was one of the greatest singers and musicians the world has ever known. She was so talented and successful from a young age that few failed to see her bright future. She started singing in church with her family until she was introduced to soul music because of her talents. Yet in the middle and highest point of her career, she stumbled and fell. Her relationship and marriage to Bobby Brown led her into drugs, alcoholism, and perverse lifestyles that destroyed her voice and focus until she finally died ingloriously. Think of Alexander the Great. At a young age of 32, Alexander destroyed the greatest and largest empire of his day within a few days. His empire stretched from Europe to Asia. After fighting to conquer the world, he settled to dine and wine. His success got so much into his head that he dared to do the unthinkable. He drank wine from the Herculean cup, which immediately seized him with pain. He died after 11 agonizing days of pain. Alexander the Great lies in immense agony on his bed, encircled by his generals who can only watch helplessly as he succumbs slowly to the wine intoxication from the Herculean cup. Had it not been for his recklessness, he might have achieved further great feats. This does not only happen to individuals, but to nations and great kingdoms and empires. When empires start rising, their citizens are always hard-working, determined, and disciplined. However, when the kingdom and empire become great and rich, the people settle down to pleasure, partying, mirth, and indiscipline. This happened to Babylon, the glory of kingdoms. At the height of her power, Babylon became so proud and rich that it gave herself to unbridled pleasure and mirth, until that indiscipline led the king to call for the sacred cups of God. He drank from the cup, but that was his end. He died and lost his kingdom that very night. The Roman Empire went through a similar trajectory. After centuries of discipline and conquest, they settled down to mirth and pleasure. The Roman populace became so engrossed in games, pleasure, and sports, such that they lost sight of their strong discipline and self-control that made them a great empire. The Emperor Caligula, who lived from 12 to 41 AD, was known for his extravagant lifestyle and excessive spending. His lavish parties, expensive games, and reckless spending drained the Roman treasury, leading to economic troubles. His erratic behavior and indulgence in pleasures contributed to his assassination. Nero, another Roman emperor who lived from 37 to 68 AD, was infamous for his excessive lifestyle. Nero's focus on personal pleasure, extravagant building projects, and lavish entertainment events bankrupted Rome and led to revolts. His mismanagement and tyranny culminated in his downfall and suicide. Mark Antony had an illustrious and promising career until he met Cleopatra, who corrupted him and led him to his death. His infatuation with Cleopatra clouded his judgment. Their extravagant lifestyle and indulgence in pleasures weakened Antony's position in Rome, leading to a rift with Octavian. Tragically, his oversight led to a crushing defeat in a battle against Octavian, a battle he might have won. His neglect of political duties and military responsibilities ultimately led to their defeat by Octavian and their suicides. Ultimately, it was his misguided choices, influenced by Cleopatra, that led to his downfall. While writing on the cause for Sodom and Gomorrah's destruction in Ezekiel 16:49-50, Ezekiel wrote, "Behold, this was the iniquity of thy sister Sodom. Pride, fullness of bread, and abundance of idleness was in her and in her daughters, neither did she strengthen the hand of the poor and needy. And they were haughty and committed abomination before me, therefore I took them away as I saw good. O beautiful Sodom and Gomorrah, even as beautiful and well-watered as the garden of the Lord. By their beauty and abundance of food and wealth, these 5 cities degenerated into indescribable evil until they were overthrown and reduced to ashes. Clearly, the wealth of Sodom led them into excessive pleasure-seeking and self-destruction through homosexuality. In our own time, celebrities and wealthy people such as Whitney Houston allowed her love of drugs to destroy her after starting off in a wonderful career in music. Hundreds more have made shipwreck of their lives through the love of pleasure. Yet this does not only happen to talented and popular people, but it also happens to poor people too. When a poor person only seeks pleasure and entertainment, be sure that he shall hate useful labor. It is no secret that lazy people always want an easy life. They want to get whatever they need for free that they may have time for pleasure. Solomon, the man who almost destroyed himself and his kingdom, rightly said after his many lost years chasing women and pleasure, "He that loveth pleasure shall be a poor man. He that loves wine and oil shall not be rich." Proverbs 21:17. Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep, so shall thy poverty come as one that travelleth, and thy want as an armed man. To the current generation who are glued to their phones and binge-watch Netflix all day, play games all the time, and spend all their time on social media, a few historical examples of people who had great talent and potential but lost them to pleasure and lack of self-control will suffice. Ludwig II of Bavaria, known as the Mad King, was famous for his obsession with building extravagant castles. His excessive spending on personal pleasures and lavish construction projects drained the state's finances, leading to his deposition and mysterious death. John Mitten was an English eccentric and gambler known for his extravagant lifestyle. Mitten squandered his fortune on parties, gambling, and reckless behavior. His financial ruin led to imprisonment for debt, and he died in poverty. George IV of England was a king known for his lavish lifestyle and indulgence. His extravagant spending on personal pleasures, parties, and mistresses led to massive debts, which burdened the British monarchy and economy. Amy Winehouse was an acclaimed singer known for her soulful voice. She struggled with substance abuse, which contributed to her death at 27. Her career and finances were severely impacted by her addiction. Lindsay Lohan was a successful actress and singer in her youth. Her career was derailed by legal issues, substance abuse, and erratic behavior, leading to financial and personal struggles. Johnny Depp is a renowned actor with a successful career. Faced with financial difficulties due to lavish spending, legal battles, and substance abuse, his wealth and public image became significantly affected. Charlie Sheen was a famous actor known for his roles in TV and film. He, however, publicly struggled with substance abuse and personal issues, leading to the loss of acting roles and financial problems. MC Hammer was a rapper and dancer famous in the 1990s. Despite earning millions, excessive spending and poor financial management led to bankruptcy. The love of pleasure led many youths into the hippie movement and ultimately into drugs that destroyed their lives. Few of such youths could trace their steps back to normalcy. These examples highlight how indulgence in pleasure, drugs, and excessive spending can lead to personal and financial ruin, underscoring the risks of uncontrolled lifestyles. In this age of entertainment, young people need more self-control to stay away from their phones, computers, and television. They need more self-discipline to study their books and focus on work instead of on pleasure. How easy it is to fall into bad company, follow friends to the bar or club, become tempted by a pretty woman into promiscuity, or exchange your education and books for pleasure and entertainment. Many a youth with a bright future is wasting away through gambling, betting, television, social media, movies, alcoholism, drugs, marijuana, and pleasure. The desire for intense pleasure is leading to weird and unnatural sexual desires and pleasures, which ultimately lead many young people into homosexuality, promiscuity, debauchery, and sexual perversion.
Remember, he who loves pleasure shall not be rich.